Welcome back to FM Story. We're approaching the midway point of season 13 of this South American Glory Hunt save. And the last episode ended with us crashing out of the Copa do Brasil at the fourth round stage. So we've taken the decision to resign from Atletico Mineiro. It really has got to a point where we can't afford another wasted season waiting around for another crack at the Copa do Brasil. We need to move on to Uruguay or Colombia. The jobs that are available at the moment aren't great, but hopefully something pops up in the next couple of weeks for us to be able to take one of those jobs. So without further ado, let's get into the action. And just confirmation of the resignation there. 146 games in charge of Atletico Mineiro, 67% win record, 15% losses. We won a cup, but I don't know. Oh, that must be the Super Copa that we won this season. 4 leagues, which is the 3 state championships we won, and the Brazilian league that we won last season as well. A couple of managers there are looking to be the favourites at Botafogo and Palmeiras. Actually, we could have a situation similar to when we left Internacional at the beginning of the save. We left Internacional, the Vélez manager took over at Internacional. We then took over at Vélez. I mean, if Kevin Ramirez gets the job from River Plate in Uruguay, that's a potential place for us to go to as well. So 115 days after we resigned from Atletico Mineiro, we finally found another job. And it's going to be a tough one to begin with Millonarios, who are not having the best of seasons, hence why they have just sacked their manager. In the meantime, we've turned down quite a number of jobs. So we've got the European leagues on so that the transfers of players, top players, prospects for big money would go to keep the game moving in a realistic way. First of all, we turned down the Eintracht Frankfurt job. And then once the international competition in the summer had finished, we turned down the England job, the Spain job, the Ireland job, the Portugal job, and the Colombia job. And it's taken a bit of time for something to happen, but we're now towards the end of September, and we've got this job at Millonarios. Now, like I say, they've not had the best of seasons, but they do have excellent training, excellent youth facilities, exceptional youth recruitment. That transfer budget and the wage budget looks outstanding for the Colombian League as well. Obviously, we're probably not going to get to use any of that for this season. Really, the job is to secure things for the rest of the season and then build over the off season for next season. And so we've been in charge for 5 days, and it's time for our first game. There's not many games left in the season. We're 12 games into the closing stage of the league season. Millonarios down in 15th with just 2 wins from those 12 games. We are going up against a team who are bottom, so hopefully we can get off to a decent start. We are missing a few players. So we've got 2 players who are in international duty, including our first choice goalkeeper. And then we've got a couple of players suspended and a couple of players injured as well. So it's not the best of starts that we're going into. We have done a lot of bringing in of staff already in these 5 days. Basically, there wasn't an awful lot. We had 2 coaches and we could have had 7. So we've brought in a lot of coaches, brought in a couple of performance analysts. We've brought in a couple of scouts with at least another one we're looking to bring in before we get started. We obviously set up some recruitment focuses for what we can do in the off season to fix this squad. So as you can see from looking at the season preview, Millonarios were expected to finish 2nd, which makes what they've actually achieved this season even more remarkable to be so far down. And we do have 3 players in the Media Dream 11. Unfortunately, one of those players, Estefano Marino, is not much longer for the club. He's already agreed a deal to leave at the end of his contract at the end of the season. But realistically, the job now is to somehow push us a bit further up the table. I think there's no chance realistically of us reaching the semi-final playoffs for the Clausura stage. So really it is about finding a formation that works, picking up some results, and seeing what we need to do ahead of next season. So our first game is an away game against Real Cundinamarca, who are bottom of the table in this closing league phase. Obviously, we have a few issues, so it's probably not the best team we could put out. It's going to get confusing at the back with Carlos Perez next to Cervelion Perez. We have Felipe Power in goal, who we have signed previously in the save. He is our now aging backup, but called upon because our number one goalkeeper is away on international duty, and hopefully we can get our reign off to a decent start. So we're going with a 4-3-3. They're going with a 4-2-3-1. As well as having Para, who we've had previously, we did have Coronado, I think, at Universitario. We had him for a season where he scored quite a few goals. So hopefully we can find some way of getting him back amongst the goals this season as well. Right, Para with a goal kick for us, goes long. It's going to come straight back at us though, but Canosa stepping forward, who's the pick of our centre halves. Huerta goes back to Perez. He gives it away. And now there's a big hole. Cross to the back post. Luckily we get our head on it. And now Valencia can bring it clear. Does well. Finds Flet. Valencia again. Can we get it across? Pulls it back. And as Jaida Menezes fire home, and a pretty decent early start here. So Flet, who's half Colombian, half Scottish, gets it out to Valencia. He then just drives into the box, pulls it back to the penalty spot, and Menezes just fires it past the keeper into the top corner to make it 1-0. They've gone long. Perez wins the header. Flet to Marino. Up to Flet. Infield to Menezes. Takes it well. And Valencia again on the left. Into Coronado. And the keeper does well to turn it behind for a corner. Coronado across to take it. Aims to the back post. It's headed down just wide of the goal. Free kick towards the back post. Headed down. It's a bit of pinball in the box. Carlos Perez heads home. I did think there might have been a bit of offside about that, but it's been given. So Flet lifts the free kick to the back post. Canosa heads it. Defender gets it. Flet gets a head on it, and then Perez heads home. And that was the Perez that plays a right back. They got that goal. Right, they've gone along with a free kick. Marino wins it. Coronado in the bureau. Canosa. Marino now stepping forward with it. Flet looking for Coronado's run. 3-0 as long as this doesn't get ruled off for offside. And it has been disallowed. It didn't look close to being offside, I didn't think, to be honest. So Flet takes a touch. I mean, that's very tight. And there we go. Half-time, 2-0. Pretty good performance so far. Always room for an improvement or two, but things are looking pretty good. So we made one change at halftime. We brought Marlon Mendoza on in centre midfield in his place of Puerta, because he wants to play first team football. Now, why he then wants to prefer to stay on the bench, I don't know. But we're just giving everyone a bit of a try out here to see what we've got. They've got the ball in our half. And it ups the front man who goes from distance. Para gets it behind for a corner. I mean, it would be serious questions asked if we were beaten from that. In swings to the near post. We've got a head on it, but they're going to pick up the loose ball. Cross deflected behind for another corner. Into the near post again. We've got the header again. It's going to come back. We might need to rejig what we're doing defensively on corners, because there was a couple of players over on the edge of the box, both of those corners. Right, we've made some more changes to get some more fresh legs on, just to see what else we've got in this squad. And there we are, full time, and in the end, a pretty comfortable 2-0 victory to get our reign at Millonarios underway. And there we are. So we finally found a new club. We're at Millonarios in Colombia. Again, trying to figure out some way of winning the league in Colombia. Because there's no overall league champion, we've decided that we have to win both the Apertura and the Clausura, not necessarily in the same season, but if we pick up both of those, we can sort of safely say we've won a league title. Obviously, it's not going to happen this season. The rest of the season's all going to be about figuring out who we want to keep around, who we need to replace, and then next season we can go full gung-ho ahead to try and win something with Millonarios. Join us next time to see how we get on towards the end of this season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.